Hey guys, Wellen Customs here, and today we are taking a look at the DC Icon Super Sons, and this comes with Superboy and Robin, Damien Robin right there. Looks pretty cool. Have some accessories right here. Take a look at the back. Now we have Nightwing, Supergirl, and also Superboy and Robin right there. It's a nice 2-pack. Let's open it up. Alright guys, so here they are out of the box. Now they have a lot of accessories, a lot of hands, that is. A lot of hands, little small hands. Aside from the accessories, Superboy over here does come with a stand, which is pretty cool, not bad. It is a clear plastic, which is pretty nice. So underneath it, there is a peg right here, underneath his foot, 1 foot only. There is a little hole for the peg, and you could put it in there, like so, if it wants to go in. Alright, there you go. And you can have him stand on top of that. It looks like he's kind of flying, which is pretty cool. He's in the air. You can pose him any way you want. Stick an arm up. Do cool stuff like that if you want to. For Damien, on the other hand, he does come with a staff right here, which is pretty nice. I do wish he came with maybe like a sword or a sai that, you know, Raphael uses. If you have your own, obviously that'd be great. And you use one of the hands to stick it in there. No problems. It's nice and small and skinny, just like the batons that Nightwing had. A little bit skinnier, but around the same size, which is not bad. And for that, other than that, they have a lot of hands. I'm not going to go through all of them because it's pretty self-explanatory, but more noticeable for Damien, he does have a cool one like this right here. He has 2 of them, so they're holding kind of a crazy looking batarang thing right there, which is pretty nice. It doesn't come out. It looks like it's pegged in, but it doesn't come out. So you get some nice poses of that at least, which is pretty cool for both hands, that is, right there. And this one's a little bit different. So this one looks like he actually is holding 3 batarangs, like that, which is pretty nice. And this one looks like a whole mesh of it. If you really look really closely, you could kind of see them individually. Right there, they're just stacked on top of each other. Also, on the other hand, he does have this hand, which is pretty nice to have because he does fight a lot. It's a nice blocking hand if you want to use that, and a bunch of different other ones for him, different gestures and stuff like that. Superboy, you know, he has the standard ones, holding, grip hands, open hands, and stuff like that. So you're probably just gonna use the fist for him. So. Alright, so looking back at the rest of the other accessories, here's Damien with 2 different hands, one holding the staff, another one with a, you know, that karate block hand right there. Looks pretty good. I like how he has a lot of different hands. You could do a lot of different poses with him with all these different hands. And now switching out other hands right here, you can see he has the batarangs, or robin rangs, what do you want to call them, in his hand right there. And it looks pretty cool. I like how it looks. Definitely is a cool look for Damien to have a lot more art in his arsenal because he is a pretty violent Robin. Alright, so first up we're going to take a look at Damien, because Damien is the figure I have been looking forward to the most out of this 2-pack right here. So let's zoom in a little bit, take a look at him, see his features. First off, I would like to say I love the size of him. The scale is perfect. I think if you're 6-inch figures, no matter what you use, either DC Icons or the old DC Universe figures, or anything like that. The hair, I love the hair. It's a little bit messy. It's a nice looking style, a little bit more updated, which is pretty nice. The mask on his face is pretty good too. I like how it looks. You know, it is green, but the inside where the eyes are, it's actually black, which is pretty nice as well. It looks pretty nice. I do like the fact that he has a little bit of a smirk, not like a happy smirk like Superboy, but it's a little bit of a cocky smirk, so that's pretty good for him. And going down to the rest of the body, it's pretty good. I like the look. The sculpting on it is fantastic. It's actually a really small figure. I'll get to size comparison soon to show how it looks like, but looking at the rest, it's pretty nice. The paintwork is pretty good too, no complaints. There's a mix of matte and gloss in some places, so you'll see how that looks like right there. But yeah, overall, pretty decent. Going down here, his knee pads are molded on, which is pretty nice. And he has has green boots with red laces. Going to the back, he does have a hood, as you can see. It's molded on. The cape itself is pretty nice. It's a soft cape, which I like a lot. However, my only gripe with it is that it's kind of tight on the shoulders, so sometimes it might get a little bit of restriction going up about that high, but going out it could be a little bit better. going up like this could be a little bit better. So I don't know. I might change it out for a fabric one, but it does look really nice though. So we'll see how that works and what I'll do with that. Pretty good. I like the belt as well, and it's pretty nice. Alright, so going into articulation really quickly right here. He has a ball joint in the head. Not the greatest movement. It could be a little bit better, to be honest. It goes left and right, no problems there. Goes down barely. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it does rock a little bit side to side and stuff like that. For the shoulders, like I said before, they're on hinge joints that rotate, but they are a little bit restricted from the cape. So, not the best movement, but could be a lot better. Goes out a little bit on this side. On this side is a little bit more tighter. So it's really up to you if you want to switch that out for better posing, if anything like that. He does have a bicep joint right here, which is pretty nice. He does 2 double elbow joints right there, which is pretty good too. Right here at the wrist, he does have a swivel and a hinge, so it's pretty standard right there. Nothing about that. At the ab joint right here, he doesn't have a waist swivels, but he does have that right here on the top at the ab, so it's pretty standard. Doesn't really rock left and right though. It does pivot left and right. I mean rock forward to back, but it does pivot left and right there. So you do have that. There is an ab joint, and it goes pretty good down right there, so it's not bad. It goes back pretty good too. Not bad at all. Zoom out a little bit. Alright, now going to the hip joint right here. It is a pretty standard now, the way they do it, where they actually have like a hinge at the hip so it could go down for more movement, which is pretty nice. And also is it on ball joint, so it's pretty good rotation. However, this little skirt part, if you want to call it that, the bottom part of his shirt, does restrict it a little bit. So I actually cut mine. I slit mine at the seam right there. You know, sometimes you might not even notice it, but I did cut mine. So now he can actually move his legs up almost 90 degrees pretty much, which is pretty good. You can do a nice split over there. On the other side, I did not cut it yet because I want to show you guys how restricted it is. It doesn't go up that high. If anything, this is helping it right now. So it's pretty bad. That's why I cut mine, so I get a little bit more movement, which I like a lot better. There is no thigh swivel, of course, but you do have a little bit of a rocker, it looks like, to rotate left and right, which is not horrible. Pretty good too. At the knee, he has double joints at the knee right there, which is pretty nice. He does have a boot swivel as well, it looks like. Does he? I don't know. Actually, he does not. It looks like he could, but it looks like it's stuck. I don't want to force it out. So, going down to the ankles right here, he does have a hinge, which could be a little bit stiff. You do have to loosen it up. You might feel like you're going to break it, but surprisingly, it's pretty sturdy. So be careful right there. And he also has a pivot at the ankle, which I'm so happy now that DC Toys are having. So he does have some good ankle pivot right there. So you will have no problems posing him. So that's pretty good. Alright, now taking a look at Superboy, and I like how he looks actually. He is pretty clean looking. I like how his face is pretty innocent looking as well. It looks really nice. His name is Jonathan, if you did not know that. But zooming in really quickly, this sculpting on it is fantastic. You can see the paintwork is really good as well. The eyes look really nice. The lips look pretty good too. The hair sculpt is pretty good too. I like how it looks. Really goes with the character. Looking at his outfit right here, he's wearing a jacket, it looks like, which is pretty nice. Has the S on the outside. Rolled up sleeves right there. Nice mesh of blue and red, obviously. Different shades of it too. Going down, he's wearing jeans, a little bit torn up, because he gets into a lot of fights and trouble when he shouldn't be. And he's wearing red sneakers on the bottom right there. On the back right there, he does have an S on his cape. Take a look at the back there too. You know, it looks pretty good. Like I said before, I wasn't looking that forward to this figure, but I had to admit, the sculpting on it is really nice. Pretty good. And no complaints here at all. Now going to articulation right here, he does have a ball joint at the head. It goes up a little bit. Pretty decent, not bad at all. Left and right, no problems there. It does pivot a little bit as well, so he has some nice range and movement right there. For the shoulders, on hinge joints that rotates, they go all the way up, pretty nice. They go in and out, pretty good too, so no problems there. He does have a bicep swivel, 2 points at the elbow right there, And at the wrist, he has a hinge and a swivel from the other hands as well, so that's pretty good. Alright, so going down to the ab joint right here, he does have the same ab articulation, but it's a little bit hindered. I think because it's a little bit more bulkier because he's wearing a jacket, it looks like. So it doesn't really swivel that much. I feel like you're forcing it too much as well. There's no give, it doesn't go back and forth or up and down. It barely pivots left and right, so it's pretty much almost non-existing, to be honest. He does have an ab joint there, which could be a little bit better. Going back, no problem. Actually, going back for both is pretty good, but going forward isn't the best, or going left and right, so that's kind of a shame. There's no waist swivel, of course. Going down to the hips right here, he does have the same hip articulation that you do have that hinge right there, so it's pretty nice. Could kind of, it's on the ball joint right there as well, so it go all the way forward like that, goes back a little bit, goes up and down. Doesn't really, it pivots a little bit left and right, so if you have that, which is not bad. Double joint at the knee right there, which are pretty good. And at the ankle, he has the same kind of deal where, you know, his ankle joint feels a little bit stiff, and you had to be kind of careful with it, but they do move. Right there. So loosen it up, and he does have a pivot, of course, so that's pretty nice as well. Alright, size comparison time. So here they are with their adult fathers, obviously right there. I love the size. I think the size is fantastic. You know, Damien and Jonathan are a lot smaller, they're skinnier, they're shorter. It's proper how they should be. Jonathan actually is a little bit taller and bigger than Damien, which is fine because he is older. Even in the comics, it's like that as well, so I have no problems with that as well. And they look pretty good. You know, even if you have 6-inch DC Classics or DC Universe figures, or you use the new icons, you know, I think you have no problem matching them up side by side. If you have like a DC Icons one, any size would be fine. They still are a lot bigger compared to these two kids right here. I don't have a new Superman. I need a new Superman. All my Superman figures are all based off the original Superman, not the one in the comics now who is from another universe, blah 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 blah. So yeah, I'm working on that. And here's another size comparison with Batman and Nightwing side by side, so you get a little bit of a better size comparison, because before they were on the back. And they're a lot smaller, which is nice. Next up right here, we have the more recent Damien Robin right here from the Multiverse collection for King Shark. So I can see side by side, you know, they actually have a nice outfit side by side. Pretty much the same exact thing, but scale-wise, you know, he's a little bit too big in my opinion. You could chalk it up if you want to make him older, whatever. But now you have two of them, you know, you can make this one whatever you want, but I like the size right here. It's a lot better for the new one. Maybe in a couple of years one might be more appropriate. And for another size comparison, of course, we have Spider-Man, because why not? And for another size comparison, here are my two Harley Quinns. One's SH Figure Arts, the other one's DC Icons. I always said in the past, DC Icons and SH Figure Arts match up really well together, which I'm pretty happy with. Sometimes, you know, they look like they're the same company. Honestly, DC Icons have come a long way, I think, and it shows now. And for another size comparison, why not? Here is Baby Groot, and we have Rocket, because they're pretty small too. And for last size comparison right here, we have my movie Superman, which is Henry Cavill, but, you know, he does have more of a I'm not going to say older looking, but more experienced looking face, so it might match pretty well with these two right here. All of my Superman figures, like I said before, are all based off the new 52 look Superman. You know, I don't have a new one for the new one yet. The new Superman that came from another world. If you guys follow the comics, obviously. But yeah, I'll get on that soon. But I like this one. I like how it looks. It's not bad. I know a couple of you guys commented on my last Nightwing review if I would, you know, put in Batman, Superman from the DC Icons wave. I don't have them. I used to have them, but I actually sold them off because I did not like them at all. You know, I think those were horrible. From what I see from the new ones, they look a lot better. But you know, when I don't have a figure I don't like in my collection, I either get rid of it, throw it away, or I donate it or sell it. So I no longer have those, so I can't make the review. So sorry, guys. Yeah, so that's about it, guys. You know, these are pretty great looking figures. I'm really happy to finally have Damien in my collection. Nice proper size. I think they look both of them look great actually. Even though I wasn't looking that forward to Superboy, he looks pretty cool. Nice to have. Maybe we need a Lois now to complete the collection. But overall, they're great figures. You know, quality control wise, they're pretty good. They are small, skinny figures, so sometimes you know you might feel like they're too skinny, but surprisingly, the joints hold up pretty well. I have to admit they're pretty good. They don't feel fragile. You know, some Marvel figures, you know, they're so skinny that like the women figures or the small kid figures, they might feel a little bit fragile. These surprisingly don't feel that bad. Even though you might feel like you're gonna break something, they hold up. The joints feel pretty good. I do wish they were a little bit more. I don't know. I'm just nitpicking right here. I might be a little bit too greedy, but some joints are a little bit too stiff, but they do move. You just have to loosen them up. But yeah, other than that, they're pretty good. Their ankle joints, if anything, are probably the worst parts about them because they're the stiffest point of the whole figures. Everything else feels fine and no problems there. It's just that you have to loosen those ankle joints up a little bit because even Damien doesn't like to stand. I had to, during making this video, I had to pause like a million times just to get him to stand. Sometimes his cape might weigh him back a little bit. But other than that, it's a great looking figures. I'm really happy to finally have them, and that's about it. Price wise, they are kind of expensive for such little figures. They pretty much just price them as normal figures, obviously, but you're just getting two little figures for almost like 50 bucks, you know, so yeah. It's up to you how badly you want to complete your collection with very well sculpted, well articulated, well detailed, and really good scale suns right here. And that's about it, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's about it. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want, pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram with wildlandcustoms.com. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace!